Hey guys, Red here, and today I'm going to do something new and give you 5 tips for playing Legion more effectively. I want to keep these tips quick and hopefully talk about some things you haven't already thought about or that hasn't been discussed in other videos. If you have any questions or tips for Legion yourself, let me know in the comment section below. Other than that, let's get straight into it. Tip number 1 is, do more with your power. I've seen countless players use Legion's power for its one purpose, to injure survivors and apply deep wounds. While this is the main point of his power, there are other things that should be playing out in your mind as well. And I'm not going to mention any special techs, as that's something you will learn as you play, and there are very few times of application for it. Some examples of what should be in your mind are things like, can I use my speed to cut off a loop or herd the survivor in another direction? For example, you see a loop that's going to be a problem for you, so you get ahead of that survivor, making them think twice of heading that way. Can I deep wound a survivor and beat them to the hook before they can save? Can I leave a player slugged and re-injure or reapply deep wounds to survivors on an objective and make it back in time with a speed bump to pick up the down survivor? These are just a few thoughts that should help you make better choices that will greater impact your games. Tip number 2 is very simple, and it's to keep them injured. Legion overall is a very simplistic killer who will rely on M1s for his downs. This means when you go against good survivors who are going to know how to loop, using your power to at least keep them injured will reduce the amount of loops you have to deal with in the end. I'd also like to throw out that if a survivor runs to a loop with a jungle gym plus a T&L wall attached, it's best to just leave them alone and look for an easier target, even if that means letting a gen that's near that loop go. Tip number 3 is, be patient. Legion is what I like to call a control killer. Your power will buy you a lot of time with deep wounds and forcing survivors to heal or be on a one-hit down. His power also allows him to herd survivors into a worse position for themselves. When using your power, make sure to watch out for survivors who will attempt a window tech after you vault. You have plenty of time to react and double check before attempting for a swing. Watch out for survivor perks like Dead Hard or Sprint Burst, as they will attempt to get you to miss while in Feral Frenzy to make you become dazed and lose your power, buying them more time. You don't need to down a survivor who has already had deep wounds applied to them. If they keep running and there is an objective, you should let them go. If they start to mend in front of you and you are aware of the objectives around you, break Feral Frenzy and attempt for a quick down, or for them to throw a pallet, getting rid of one future loop. Tip number 4, know when to slug. This applies to all killers, but Legion makes great use of slugging, as most if not all the survivors are injured. Good times to slug would be if you suspect the player has DS, you have the ability to apply deep wounds and make it back to your originally down survivor. There are nearby survivors who are looking for a save or are injured, which can snowball the game right there. And my last tip for you guys is, number 5, know your 3-gen. Games can get out of control, especially if you had a rocky start. The 3-gen can turn a losing game into a winning game. At the beginning of every game, you should spot out where the closest set of 3 gens are. These are priority gens. Almost every map will have a group of these gens that are relatively close. Legion excels when survivors are grouped together, and he can cover ground very quickly. If the survivors are in a 3-gen, they will either try to all hop on one gen to bust it out quickly with one person distracting, or break up and cover the 3 gens individually. In this scenario, we want them to do gens individually in order to buy more time for us to manage to get a few downs or kills. Using the perk Discordance not only is one of Legion's best overall perks in my opinion, but makes it difficult for survivors to rush the last gen if it's in the 3-gen. While this strat will save some of your games, I would never recommend only patrolling your 3-gen, as you need to apply pressure early and look for as much of a lead as possible. Well everyone, I hope these tips help you out in your games as Legion. This is something new I've done, so let me know if you want me to give another 5 quick tips on a different killer. Also, comment below on what your thoughts were with these tips. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for future content. Follow me on Twitter in the description below for some meme and Dead by Daylight debates. I hope you guys get yourself some Survivor Pie with your favorite Legion member, and until next time, I'm Red, and I'm signing off.
Like I do right now.